Oh, what's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Welcome to the 10 Minute Mailbag, the MLB The Show series where I take user questions from YouTube and Discord and I answer them like someone who answers questions. I answer them in depth and I give you guys some of the answers you're looking for. So I appreciate you guys being here for another week. Quick programming note for all. Because of the holidays, the next couple weeks, content's going to be a little bit silly. In terms of scheduling, I'm kind of traveling, a lot of driving, like a lot of us do. So we're going to have today's video, we're going to have a podcast tomorrow, then we're going to have a Thursday upload. Then we're going to have the week after a podcast on Tuesday and a Thursday upload. So it's not going to be the full content, but it's going to be hopefully enough to get everybody by, and then we're back to regularly scheduled stuff the following week. So just so you guys are aware of what's going on, that's what's happening. So without further ado, let's put 10 minutes on the good old clock and get to those questions. And if you, the viewer, the current viewer, have questions for me for the next mailbag, which will end up being, hold on, let's do the date, because I just said we're taking a little content break. Not break, that's not the right word. Content space out. The next mailbag will be January 6th, it looks like. Yes, if you guys have questions, leave them here, and I will get to them in that next video, all right? So don't be shy. Ask your questions. Our first question today, once I hit the timer, comes from Tyler Thomas. So shout out to Tyler. And in 3, 2, 1, begin. Tyler's question, not really a question, a statement. And I wanted to address it because I have thoughts on it. They need to adjust stolen bases in next year's game. I agree, actually. So this question actually, or this comment, did not come from a previous mailbag. It did not come from Discord. It came from a gameplay upload from either last Thursday or Friday. I can't recall the video exactly. But as soon as I saw it, I screenshotted it because I was like, yes, I want to talk about this. This is going to sound like I'm not good enough. I'm complaining because I can't do something, yada, yada, yada. But I do think there's something here. Stealing bases is too easy. It just is. You could slide step a fastball out of the zone, predict the steal that's coming, and if the base runner has anything like 90-plus speed and swim slides, he's safe every time. I would love to see the data. I don't really think pitchers pitch out much anymore in Major League Baseball, or like true pitch outs, but I'd love to see the data on the success rate on pitch outs, because a pitch out is supposed to be what neutralizes the running game, at least in this context, and it simply does not. Stealing bases is too easy. I don't know if something needs to be done to pop times. I don't know if something needs to be done to like the catcher's velocity on their throws, like maybe it needs to be retuned. I don't know if something needs to be made harder on the base running end. I'm not sure which direction needs to be addressed, if fielding needs to be buffed or running needs to be nerfed. But something has to happen. I like that a couple years ago, let's start here, stealing was too hard, in my opinion. I don't know what they did to change it, but now stealing is incredibly easy. In Major League Baseball, it's easier too. I understand that. But there are still outs made on the bases in Major League Baseball. I feel like it's almost impossible to throw anybody out stealing in this video game. So I don't know what the answer is. I'm curious if you all had the same experience that I have. Clearly Tyler has, because he asked the question. Or, again, made the comment, made the statement. You know, in an ultimate team mode like this, where you can build god players or you can use god players, you're going to inevitably have a lot of steals because you're going to have guys who are fast because they fit your team, or, you know, again, they're god cards. Like, they're just nuts everywhere across the board in every attribute. So I'm okay with there being more stealing. I just need to have the ability to neutralize it. If I slide step, you should be out 50% of the time. That's not even a high percentage, but like if you gave me 50%, I'd be happy. This is, of course, all assuming perfect throws from the catcher, and like I understand that's part of it too. But if all goes right, if you slide step a perfect throw on a fastball, we should not be having this many stolen bases. So that's just my take. I don't know if I was completely eloquent on that or if I articulated my point correctly, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Next question. Is this from the same Tyler? Did I do the silly? No, first one was Tyler Thomas. This is Tyler O'Brien. It's Tyler Day. Shout out to Tylers everywhere. Every Tyler on earth. Kenny, I was wondering your thoughts on a new mode for either online or offline play of theme teams. The mode is captain-based, but captains can only be used in this mode. Love that. Love that. We have been asking forever for a new type of game mode. You know what? What if it's not even a new game mode? What if they just make events only theme teams? It's a captain mode. You can call it the captain events. You could just call it captain mode. You can... I love that. I absolutely adore that. I think that provides an avenue for everybody to get what they want out of this game. If you're not a captains person, you can still play ranked. You won't have to deal with any captains. If you love captains, love them, and you like tinkering with as many theme teams as possible, you now have a setting to do that in events. Is the downside that it's 3 innings? Sure. And you want to play a 9-inning mode? I get it. So maybe the alternative is truly a new 6 or 9-inning game mode that's just captains and theme teams. That's fine too. But I think we have problems structurally with the events mode. Infrequent or inconsistent lengths of events. Very often uninteresting events in terms of the parameters. A lot of times, it's basically just God Squad mode. So if you're going to just make it God Squad mode anyway, because you don't have any more ideas of how to do the events, just make it all captains. Make it a requirement. And I think that's sick. I think that's fun. What that doesn't do is give you an offline mode, because events is inherently an online thing. So I would love some sort of offline counterpart. I don't quite know what that is, but I'm open to anything as long as it makes sense and is interesting. I don't know if your question necessarily means like the same mode needs to be available for offline and online. I think you're just asking for 2 separate things. Maybe not. I don't know. Either way, I love that. I think we need more things for both types of players, on and offline. Just because one type of player gets new stuff doesn't mean the other shouldn't. We should all be happy. We should all get our way. This is a game for off and online players alike. But yes, in love with that. Hope they do it. Next question from John Max. What do you think? Are you Canadian, John? Hello from Canada. I'm only asking that because you're an icon. What do you think of a My Player Road to the Show mode like NBA 2K games where it's online and offline and it's like an open world type of mode? I have in the past advocated for this. Like the Sandlot, we'll call it. You walk around, you try to find a baseball pickup game. Maybe it's cool and fun. You customize your character. Maybe it is more like actually Road to the Show based, and it's more like minor league and this and that, not so much like casual. Like the 2K mode, I think, is more casual. Casual in terms of like story arc. It's more of like, I'm just a guy who loves basketball. Let's go play around the park and do stuff. Or Road to the Show, you would obviously be trying to get to the big leagues. I've read comments and feedback on this, and they don't think... I've never played this mode. I've never played 2K. Apparently, it's buggy and the connection's awful because you have so many online players in one room. So, MLB The Show already has server issues and connectivity problems. I don't know how feasible it would be, though theoretically, in terms of like a mode I'd enjoy, I think I'd play the shit out of this mode. I think I'd love it. And for that reason, I'm excited about the concept. But just thinking structurally and logically and technologically, that's the word I really wanted to say, I don't think it's possible right now. SDS's like hardware and connectivity and servers have to prove a lot before we can get confident about something like this. But conceptually, I love the idea. I think it's sick. I think it would actually make this mode fun to play. Because right now, it's not. If you get enjoyment out of this, I'm so thrilled for you. Current Road to the Show is not fun for most people, but if you're someone who's able to grind it out and enjoy it, I'm happy for you. That doesn't mean we all can't get more out of it, though. So I hope we can figure out a way to do that. Our last question today comes from R Squared. And I've talked about this before, but I'm happy to talk about it again. Now that Diamond Dynasty is going back to the good old power creep, do you believe that the card collecting aspect of the mode should revert to the smaller collections with a big reward attached for completing the collection? And then what I love, because now I don't have to do the work myself, he provided a screenshot of what he's talking about with all the individual smaller collections leading up to the big boy one. Yeah. Yes, across the board. The smaller collections were fun. For those who don't know, if you collected, like, I don't know, 35 of the Veteran Series cards based on a particular big collection, you would then get a voucher. And when you had enough vouchers, meaning you collected enough cards within a specific card type, you could exchange those vouchers for the big collection card. And those cards usually were disgusting. I liked this because it added more strategy to the card collecting. You had to, like, make sure you were keeping up with your Veteran Series, keeping up with your All-Star Series. You had to save stubs for that one expensive card you knew you were going to need to finish, like, the All-Star Game cards. I liked that. That added value to the card collecting. Right now, it's kind of just mindless card collecting, and I don't care for that. I think what you're suggesting, going back and doing that, makes sense. Now, with SDS going back to the power creep, I don't anticipate them just going entirely into the time capsule from like 2 or 3 years ago and readopting everything. I do think there are going to be some changes. So maybe they can find a way to do this with some tweaks so it is newer but still reminds us of that old thing, so it's a little nostalgic. I think nostalgia is good. But this, I mean, I think universally this was everybody's favorite type of card collecting, at least within the confines of MLB The Show. So yes, I would be thrilled with that, because collecting now is just, I mean, hey, here's as many of these idiots you can get. You can collect whichever types you want, and then you get an icon. Like, you know, it doesn't matter. It's mindless. It's meaningless card collecting. If you give us these little individual things and it leads up to a big goal, sign me up. So yes, that will do it for today's 10-minute mailbag. Do you have thoughts on things we talked about? I'm sure you do. Come on, camera. I just saw it go in and out of focus. We're back now. If you have thoughts, please leave them down below. If you have questions, most importantly, please leave them down below. Or you can join the Discord, where we talk about this stuff constantly all the time without the mailbag even being there. We just have these conversations. It's fun. It's a great time. Yeah. So I love you guys. Thank you. Happy holidays. Hope you guys enjoy them. Be safe. Be merry. Drink a lot of eggnog. I actually like eggnog. Do you like eggnog? I like eggnog. That's it. I'm going to go watch football now. See you guys later. Love you.